Hey, what's good? It's Cadillaktrackz. This is quick tip number 90 today. Man, it's getting hard to figure out what to come up with because I'm at 90 now. But I went over a lot, but this is something I haven't showed y'all, and I was just working on this beat. I was live streaming it, and I'm doing live screens where I show my screen live, but the quick tip today is just adding a little more swing groove into your hi-hats, drums, melodies, or whatever you might be adding into Maschine. A lot of times what I'll do is this is something specific, so this is just something that I like to do here. It's something you can do to add a little more swing into Maschine. Maschine does have, it's got this, variation, and also humanize. So it can give you a little variation to the hi-hat. It can humanize them a little bit. I can shift them, I can, what do I do? When I go into the channel MIDI and I go into, I can affect the swing. That's what I'm thinking about. I can affect the swing also, but one thing I can't do is I can't really shift the notes over to the right just a pinch, not unless I was to do that manually. And one thing I like to do on Fruity Loops, I like to have Maschine selected just like so. So here's Maschine right here, this little green one, and it has its own channel rack inside of Fruity Loops. So what I like to do is I like to put down, say this was my hi-hat pattern right here, and it was going every 2. And whatever pad is selected on Maschine, when you lay it down here is what it'll play. And if the hi-hats were selected here, you can always click on the channel options inside of Fruity Loops or with Fruity Loops, and you can open up the channel, meaning that you can open up this thing and you can click right here on the toolbar, or the wrench right here, and you can go right here into swing or shift. And as you know, a swing or shift will shift or swing the notes that are playing like this, these hi-hats that are going every 2. Fruity Loops has a real good swing, and it has a swing knob. It's kind of complicated, but if you can adjust the swing knob to use it, that's always good to use the swing knob in conjunction or with this one. So you're using this one right here and you're using this one at the same time. You gotta keep an eye on both of them. And then also it has a shift, meaning that you can move notes slightly over to the left or to the right. So with this shift and this swing, you can get a different groove on your hi-hat so that they're not so robotic. A different groove, different from the swing on Maschine, different from the variation on Maschine, and different from the humanize on Maschine. So you can get even more swing and groove into it. And you can do that with this swing and shift from Fruity Loops. And when you do that, once you've laid down notes here and you've applied this swing setting or this shift setting through Fruity Loops, when I push record on Maschine and I push play on Fruity Loops, it's going to record these notes into Maschine. Now Maschine will quantize the notes automatically like it does everything unless you tell it not to. So a lot of times with the drums I'll put Maschine on none, or I have no quantize on, and I push record that way. What it'll do if you have none selected or no quantize, it'll record the swing or the groove that you're feeding it from Maschine using the shift or the swing settings. It'll record it right into Maschine. Once that's done, you can go back to your grid or your quantize if you like. And once you've done that, you've just added an extra swing or an extra groove that you weren't able to obtain using the variation, humanize, or the swing inside of Maschine. Doing that by laying the notes in Fruity Loops and then recording it into Maschine. So yeah, it's a lot. I just explained it long, I guess, but basically we're just putting notes here and affecting the shift, the timing basically of the notes, and then recording that into Maschine. Take Maschine's quantize off and record notes that have affected timing right into Maschine, and you can get a lot more groove and bounce into your track, and then come back over them with your finger drumming. But this is a quick tip. This is just a thing of preference. I'm gonna do a couple of more things like this, things I like to do and things that you should try. Cadillaktrackz 1.